Hi, everybody. Recruiting Animal here on March now, March 12th, 2025. Man, I have a lot of problems with that date. I'm sorry. But anyway, we've got two geniuses here. We've got, wave, Tommy. Say hi, everybody. Yeah, okay. But you know what? No one can see you, Tom.
Oh,
okay?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's good. Tommy Pistachio Alacio from Palermo Roads, okay? And Richie Rich Rosen, America's recruiter. What about this? Important question. I want everybody to cool down now to get to the real stuff. What about wearing elevated sweatsuits to interviews, okay? This celebrity said there's sweatsuits and there's sweatsuits. I wear one kind for one of it, but when I'm doing an interview, I wear an elevated sweatsuit. Anybody?
No, I mean, it's whatever. It depends on the role. If you're in a programmer, it's probably more acceptable than if you're going for a sales role.
So you would not advise your candidates, Rich, who places salespeople, to wear a sweatsuit to an interview, no matter how.
Honestly, Adam, I love you, buddy. That was one of the dumbest things you've ever brought up in the show.
It isn't. Look, some of these things, I got this out of the New York Times, where I get most of my stuff. Okay. Some of these sweatsuits cost $1,000. Okay.
Oh, well, that makes it okay because you're a rich moron. Or just harbor with your money makes it okay.
Yeah, well,
I mean, you could buy Kanye's $100 Nazi T-shirt there too. Makes you genius, right? I mean, there you go. I mean, no,
Tommy,
no.
Sweatsuit's okay. Sweatsuit is that elevated sweatsuit
Again,
an elevated sweatsuit.
Depends on the interview. You're going to a job as a foreman for a commercial roofing company, probably okay, right?
That guy doesn't have $1,000 for a $1,000 sweatsuit.
Not $1,000. A programmer who's sitting behind a desk all day and he's got a mohawk and pierced ears, he could get away with that.
Yeah, that's about it.
Does David Marr in heaven want to comment on that? Would you wear an elevated sweatsuit, meaning expensive sweatsuit, to an interview? Okay, he's not going to say anything. Okay, here's another one, sort of interest to me. By the way, okay. There are people who occasionally watch this show, and one guy said in the comments on YouTube, he said, "I occasionally watch your show," and then he gave me a bunch of criticisms, okay, which are critiques. I don't mind. One of the things he said was, your sound's not so great. So I don't have control over you guys, but I did think about it, and I put my mic right in front of me. Is it good today? Is it any better than usual? I know you guys didn't say, "Oh, Animal, your sound is so good," right?
It sounds like it always does. Sounds
you know what? No, but I noticed last week or 2 weeks ago that Donna's sound, it was better. It was great. So I do notice when the sound is different. Yeah. And I want the viewers to know that if you actually watch a show and leave a comment about something you like, if you want me to say something different to Rich or Tom or Dave, tell me, and I'll consider it.
Speaking of tech, Tommy, I finally bought a new computer too. I actually got off a Mac. I bought first time in 15 years I've been not on a Mac.
What'd you get?
I got this HP Elite Mini, which is kick-ass. It's 64 gigs of RAM.
Alexa, remind me in 2 years to ask me how Rich Rosen likes his computer.
Thank you. I've already gotten this thing bogged down too.
2 p.m. Because what's going to happen, you're like every guy is in 2 years from now, you're going to be like, "Oh my God, it's so slow. It's this and that." And you're going to go back and buy a Mac.
64 gigs of RAM. That's wild. I've never heard of anybody.
This is like a supercomputer. It's like whatever the latest i7 chip, I think. 64 gigs of RAM, terabyte.
Yeah, I mean, that's a solid.
Yeah, it's a good. It's an absolute rock solid machine. According to Claude.ai, I'm like,
what'd you pay for it?
I was like $800.
Okay.
So cheap.
Because the M4 Mac Mini,
I had one.
M4 Mac Air just came out. MacBook Air, with 16 gigabytes of RAM. The thing is amazing for $900.
It's enough. So I had the Mac M4 Mini with 64 gigs of RAM in it. I think I had it for a week and returned it because I'm like, it's just gonna be another Mac problem because Mac doesn't play well with Chrome. I don't find right now. I've talked to a lot of people.
Stop fucking using Chrome.
I'm using Edge now. And
Edge is
now
good. Edge is
I
great.
hate Microsoft, and I'm all Microsoft again. I'm not happy about it.
I have Edge for the roundtable and all the stuff I do there, and then Brave for everything else. And Edge is good. Edge has some very good privacy things. It's a
I don't care
fast
about the
browser.
privacy crap. It's just what extensions work. And with Brave, not all the extensions I needed would work on Brave.
What extension didn't work?
Relay was one of them.
Oh,
Yeah. There's
Hold on. I was going to ask a very important question, but this reminds me. Rich recommends PIN.com for sourcing. Do you want to tell us about that?
So PIN there's actually two programs I'll recommend for you. PIN is one. Hang on a second. PIN is a great way to source and automate your emails, built by the guys used to Interstellar. So you can does some pretty creative sourcing. I found people on there that I would not find on LinkedIn. And I found people that especially if you have an admin that doesn't know your space, it breaks down every job that these people have. So you can quickly see, hey, what did company X sell? What do they actually do? How old is that company? You can break it down by 1,000 different variables. So you can get really granular. Number one, and then you can do an automated AI written email chain if you wanted, campaign, or you can write your own, and it will teach their AI how to write better even, which is great. So that one's a killer solution. Usually mention my name for that one. And also, and they're actually going to be a Pinnacle sponsor too. And then Bounty.ai has been kick ass. If you're doing BD, man, Bounty.ai, Bounti.ai, has been dynamite to get research on companies, ongoing research on your target audience. And then it will tell you why you should reach out and why they should use you and write it up for you, basically. It's pretty slick.
And how much are those? Do you know offhand?
I want to say a couple $100 a month or something like that.
It's expensive.
They're not cheap, but if you got a team and you're going to make a $50,000 deal out of it, then it's not so bad.
that's what always comes down to it.
You think those specialized tools are better than just going to Claude, as you mentioned, and asking a question?
It just makes it easier. Doing BD. I think most recruiters spend so much time doing BD and doing research and overthinking it. Who do I call?
Hold on. BD, for the people who are novices or newbies, it's business development, sales, new sales.
Yeah, anyone that's doing hunting for new business.
Right.
If you're looking up a company in your space or you're going after a new niche or whatever, this makes it easy for you.
Okay.
Bounty actually will tell you who to reach out to. I'll give you a lot of times the head of talent acquisition, the head of the head of sales, or whoever your audience is that you're going after. So it's pretty slick little program.
I've got some information here if I can find it. Yeah, AI can look at your database of candidates and predict who is ready for a conversation and create outreach lists with reasons for calling.
Yes, David. Nice use of graphics.
Are you using Bounty?
I use Bounty, yes.
How do you delete a company?
I haven't deleted anyone yet, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Okay, you guys
Oh, you
didn't
know what?
listen.
You know
You guys
what?
didn't listen to me, okay?
Wait, hang on. He did. I actually asked the guy that. I think basically right now, I think you have to have them do it for some weird reason. It's a little strange. They just started that. Your question, what was it? What AI program were you saying?
AI can go through your database, and I know Hire Easy used to do, even when it was Hire Tool, used to do it. It goes through the list of people and tells you who's most likely to be ready to move, who you should talk to first.
Interesting. I know if you use if you pay for the higher end OpenAI, like OpenAI's operator version, I think you can do it. You can code it in there.
It's not that hard to figure out. Years of they've a number of
No,
years
go
in
through
there.
if you got 100,000 candidates, I mean, you can remember a lot of them. You can't remember all of them, and they don't come up.
No. If you look at the profile, it's going to say been here 5 years, been here 8 years.
If you have 100,000 resumes to go through, you can't.
None of us are in that category. Okay,
I'm in that category.
100,000.
My database.
Crelate have a
okay.
sourcing
I know
tool?
what you mean now. Okay, didn't.
There's what?
Does Crelate have a sourcing tool?
Not really. No.
Are
That's
you
the
still
one thing
on
about
Crelate?
Loxo is
Are you
Loxo
still on
source.
it?
While Loxo source is okay, it actually you can search your database completely using all the same parameters. City,
Well, yeah,
state.
there's a search tool within Crelate. Yeah, of course, but they're not like a source to the internet. Like go out and pull it up on. You go through LinkedIn or go through whatever. No. But yeah, there's of course a search tool in Crelate.
Okay, but Rich was also promoting Atlas as an applicant tracking system this week.
It's good.
Really good.
Why?
Yeah. But it's super modern. The guy that built it is a stud. He's a great dude who is really looking forward to the future, and he's really incorporating a lot of AI. To
Why are you still on Crelate?
Because it's not fully ready yet, for me at least.
Okay.
You know,
So
Yeah,
I
he's
was
got a
just
lot of.
if I was just starting out today, I probably would have just hopped onto that one. But they're still building it out. It's like a year old, not even a year old.
okay,
But
so
I'm
when
out.
you give your advice, then okay, there's absolutely no framework for it. Oh, just Atlas. Oh, go to Atlas.
Okay, so
It was a simple question. I don't need to give it.
they have an AI that works really well, and here's something I really like. My calendar is attached to it, right? So if I send an email to Rich that says, "Hey, Rich, I'll cut this candidate loose on Tuesday, and I'll get you 2 more candidates to, or I'll cut David M. Marr on Tuesday, and I'll get 2 candidates for you to interview by Wednesday." The AI sees that and makes a to-do in my calendar that pops up that says, "Hey, you need to let David Marr loose on Tuesday."
Yeah. I mean,
It reads my calendar and it reads my email, and anything that looks like it's important, it makes to-dos for or calendar things for.
Yeah.
It has a built-in
it's got all
AI that records all your meetings.
So it will actually, if you talk about salary and it saves every meeting into the candidate record, you can actually do a salary survey just based on your phone calls.
Yeah.
You know,
If you record all your phone calls and all your meetings and let the AI listen to them, it puts it in the candidate record and it'll put all the pertinent information. It's really intuitive. I'm actually surprised. It's got some bugs. There was a question you want all the companies answered, and I've been going back and forth on some other stuff with them, but it has definite potential.
yeah. I mean, to me, that's the next great one. I haven't seen much better. You know, it's not there fully yet, but I think it's going to be a pretty stellar program. I love everything that Jordan's doing over there.
Here, look at this. I'll show you right now. I just grabbed it to open it up, and this is the screen, right? So I didn't make any of these, right? So here's this is why I talked about the cut the person loose, right? Here's this. Then ran to Andy for the panel interviews, right? I had to set that up, and then Brandon talked to the individual discussed in the previous communications. I still haven't followed up with the candidate that he sent me, right? So this is a split. So these were all made for me. It looked at my emails.
Are you using it a lot?
Not really.
Yeah, I'm not either. I've just been playing around with it.
Yeah, I play around with it. I do have it hooked up to my email and all that. And like right now, I could drag, as we're talking, I could drag a link in to this meeting and it would record the entire meeting.
Yeah. It's pretty slick.
Dominic is here now. He's the disruptor. Okay, he has overturned all the stuff that Rich and Tom have been telling us.
He really has
for
it. He
years,
really has
okay?
it.
Yes, cold calling. They said, "Oh, I don't like it." You know, I don't like.
That's not what anyone said. You dig-a-ling.
That's exactly what you said.
No, you're the reason that Trump's adding tariffs to Canada.
Yeah, and then last week, you guys, you came out.
You came out. Come on.
Especially Rich, not come out as gay. You came out as like. You know, he's always telling us, I got to niche down. I got to narrow my niche.
I've been saying this forever. Yeah.
No, last week you told us that it doesn't matter if you have a niche. You can be just as good recruiting CFOs next week.
It's that Canadian translation.
Oh my God.
Okay. And I know the reason. The reason was that all of a sudden Dominic showed up. You know, you guys got to follow, and I don't know what he's doing to you. He's certainly driving me crazy. I always say, okay, yes, Tom and Rich, they know so much. I want to be like them. I even stopped shaving to be like Rich, okay? And now he says it doesn't matter.
I even shave now.
Generalist. You can be a generalist. It doesn't matter. I'll beat you next week. You can be in this business 30 years. I'll go into your niche and I'll wipe you. Okay? I'll smear you all over the wall. Okay? That's what he told us.
Oh, yeah. You're almost.
You guys are wild.
Almost correct.
Except I know. I'm almost correct. Yeah.
Almost, except for the whole thing.
Okay, hold on. Here's something for Rich, okay? Because Rich likes doing videos. And do you
I
know
don't like them, but I think they're useful though.
Okay, this guy Rich Beto. I don't know if you guys will follow him at all. He's a music producer. He's been around for a long time. He's got very thick gray hair, and he interviews famous musicians. And he says he noticed that people will only watch videos for 30 seconds. I was shocked. So if you're talking about Rich, if you're doing a presentation, they're never more than 30 seconds on the video, are they?
I mean, they're 60 seconds because they ramble, but yeah, he's right. The shorter the better.
Dom, do you do videos? You're at an odd angle there, showing
I
us the
do.
inside of your nose. Okay.
There. 60 seconds.
Yeah. I
Okay,
think
this guy
while
can't
he's walking.
can't
I'll
afford
tell you,
a-
yeah, the short videos is the way to go. I mean, that's why Reels and YouTube Shorts are way more popular than anything else. I mean, if you're trying to get someone's attention, absolutely short.
Seconds. They just increased YouTube videos to 3 minutes. It used to be 1 minute. Now it's 3. So Rick, he might be wrong, Rick Beto, even though he's a smart guy and he puts out a lot of video. Okay.
Just because people put out a lot of crap doesn't mean they're good.
He's not doing crap. He's very good. Okay.
I haven't seen him. so I
Yeah,
have
you
no
don't know.
idea.
Okay, I'll send you something. Okay, okay. Should you apologize if someone gets mad at you for cold calling or cold emailing? Should you apologize?
If someone gets mad at you for cold,
You cold call somebody and they say, "How dare you call me?" Should you say, "I'm sorry," even for a tactical reason? If you're in personally, you're thinking this guy's an idiot, but just to calm him down, you say, "Oh, I'm sorry. Please forgive me."
I mean, you can ask you like why you're so angry. Like, why did it bother you so much?
Yeah, would you do that?
I would. It depends on the moment. But yeah, I mean, listen, if apologizing lets you win the battle, sure. But I don't know.
Okay. This guy named Phil Rivers, he's a marketing guy. He said, never apologize for selling. There's nothing to feel sorry about.
That's not what you
okay?
ask, though. You don't feel sorry about it, but sometimes you got to apologize just to win the fight.
Okay. Nobody else wants in on that. Okay, thank you, Rich. At least you listened enough. Okay, here's another one. Internal recruiters. For every potential client that employs internal recruiters, there's probably 100 that don't. So why work with a customer who sees you as a competitor and tells you you'll have no access to the hiring manager? You guys don't follow that.
What was that one again?
Oh, gee whiz. After that, I read it out. Why work with a company that's got an internal recruiter? They are your enemy. You're going to make them look bad. That's how they see it. Okay. What? And they said, for everyone that's got an internal, there's many more that don't. Why work with a company that's got an internal recruiter?
Because usually they're not going to get the job done. They want outside folks. And if you get a good internal recruiter that actually wants to, what's like Dominic a model now? Look at this. If you get an internal recruiter that actually wants to partner with you, it can be a great partnership.
Okay. This Rich is a wild guy, okay? I've never seen anybody who could say more bad things about internal recruiters than Rich.
That's not true. I have said the same thing. Do I like working with recruiters? No, of course not. I'd rather just work direct. But in the modern world, you're going to have to work with, some internals from time to time. And you know what? Sometimes when you get the ones that are good, like when David, is an internal and wants to use external recruiters, he's a good partner to work with.
This David, no way. He said, I could do it myself, is what he'll say. Screw you, Richie Rich.
But he's not. So you know what? Right, David? You get you get a good recruiter, you'll be a good partner, assuming you can't fill the job on your own.
Okay. Rich, you should get Dominic to take one of those pictures of you like that.
Wait, I had a call coming in. What was that?
Dominic can take a picture of you, or maybe that's one of those headshot AI tools could make you look like a model, like a male model.
Why male models?
Well, you missed the joke. You weren't watching, okay?
But why male models?
Because that's what Dominic has his.
But why male models?
I don't know why. Because
Why? But why male models?
Are you trying to make me mental?
It's from a movie. It's from Zoolander.
I didn't see it.
He keeps asking. Why male models?
Okay. Okay.
I just
Charlie
told you
Munger. Why Charlie Munger? Because he was Warren Buffett's partner. Okay. You guys have heard of him, I assume. Charlie Munger,
Yeah.
billionaire or whatever. He
Yeah.
says, or he said, the first rule of fishing is to fish where the fish are. Okay. And when you're doing sales, or he says, take a proven path and don't go off on no, he's not my cousin, okay? Don't go off on don't be too innovative. Do what everybody else is. Go into a saturated market. Does that make sense to you guys? Because usually people have the opposite. They say, I don't want to be in a crowded market. He says that's where the business is. That's where you want to go, into a crowded market, and just try to make yourself a little better all the time in order to make yourself competitive. Does anybody want to comment on that? I found it
I
interesting.
think it's a dumb analogy. That's what I'm going to say.
Mhm.
For someone who
But with
fishes, that's a dumb
HR, I don't
analogy.
think it's a bad one. No, it's not. Okay. Okay. Networking on LinkedIn. Anybody paying attention? Oh, if you guys have something better to talk about, go ahead. Okay. I don't mind. Okay. Networking on LinkedIn. If
Why
the guy,
male model?
the guy says, if I see someone is connected to a key prospect, I'll ask for an introduction and I'll ghostwrite the introduction for them. And then I'll send a gift card for the introduction because they were nice to me. Now, that's kind of like the old version of LinkedIn, asking people to introduce you to their contacts. Does anyone here ever look for a warm introduction through their contacts?
All
Give me
the
an
time.
example. Give me an example.
Called a VP up yesterday, say, hey, you know this other VP you're connected to? It's not that hard. It's funny. It's it. I mean, that's it. It's like, hey, Sean, do you know Joe over here?
I mean, if you're in your niche, you should know. You know, if you don't know a guy, hey, do you know you used to work over at XYZ Corp? Do you know Rich over at XYZ? Oh yeah, he's a good guy. Do you know if they need help, or can you give me an introduction? Do you have a cell phone? Like that's normal.
Okay, have you asked for an introduction? Have you asked for?
Yeah,
Go ahead,
we just asked, but it's funny. I was just having this conversation with my wife like an hour ago because like someone had asked her to reach out to her VP, like internally. They'd asked her like to reach out to the VP to get some answer, and this lady like the next day was like, "Well, what's the answer?" My wife's like, "Hey, well, we haven't gotten back yet." And like, I guess normal people sit there and wait for an answer. like I'm gonna guess Tom's like me. I'm like, if I text you in the morning and you don't get back to me, I'm probably going to text you by lunch and then probably again by like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You know, I'm like, life is not that hard to communicate anymore if you actually want to. You know?
That's it. That's the key right there, Rich. If you actually want to, these people like they forgot how to do what the hell we do.
But you know what I find? This is what talking to my wife was very interesting because I find like the rest of the world, and I'm supposed like a lot of recruiters too, they get so afraid or enamored by someone having a VP title. Like they're so important and they're so powerful. What the fuck are they going to do? They're going to say no or they're going to say yes. And then you go on. Either way, life doesn't really change. So like getting information, either want to work with you or they don't. So, you know, I don't know. It seems tangible to this.
Okay, no, I think it is very relevant to this because it seems strange then that you would try to go through somebody else than going directly after the guy that you are.
No, because you want if someone can make you a warm introduction, that's always better. Like if I want to talk to Tom and you know I didn't know Tom, but you knew Tom, and I say, hey, you know, Animal, connect me to Tom, will you? I got something I think could be useful for him.
What is it? Okay, this guy, he writes out an introduction for that middle
Yeah,
man.
that's just a lot of extra work, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I listen. I've done similar for folks, and I'm like, hey, listen, I know you're busy, but hey, if you're connected to this guy, let me know. I'll even write the intro for you or something like that. Most people don't care. They'll just shoot a quick note and say, hey, Joe, talk to my buddy Rich.
Yeah,
You know, I mean,
with no explanation. Rich is a really good guy. You're going to be happy to talk to him.
sometimes. Yeah, I mean, obviously, but if people, it depends how well you know that they know each other.
Okay, but I want to know your exact wording. You're calling up Joe to have to speak to Rich. Okay, so or no, you're calling Joe to talk to Pete. Okay, to tell him to talk to you. So what words do you use? I see you're connected to this guy. Can you introduce me to him?
Yeah, I mean, usually I literally just did this yesterday. I was like, you know, hey, Sean, I saw you're connected to this guy, John. just so happens. Hey, how well do you know him? Would you mind making a connection for me? And they'll tell me, hey, I know him really well, no problem, or I don't really know him that well.
Okay, but when make a connection for him, so what's he supposed to do?
Well, they kind of know what I do, so they'll just say I mean, that's where I leave it because these guys are executives. I assume they're smart enough to make an introduction.
So you don't tell them, can you phone them or can you send them an email or send them a message? Is nothing,
Usually
a
not.
note. You don't say, can you send them a note?
Well, yeah, I mean, they're going to communicate how they want to communicate. This guy can text us and put us on a text string.
So what happened yesterday with Sean and John? What was
He didn't know him as well. he didn't know this guy that well.
okay,
Somebody asked me to reach out to someone because they had a question about Sanford Rose, and I knew someone who used to own a Sanford Rose franchise. You know what I did? I made a group text.
Yeah.
Steve meet Joe. Joe meet Steve. He has a question about Sanford Road. There you go, guys. And then they called each other, and that was it. That was simple as that.
Okay. But how do you know that the third party, you've got, the person who wants to talk to number 3?
Oh,
okay?
I got somebody who's interested in Sanford Fruit Fry. Do you mind answering some questions? She said, yeah, not a problem.
Well, he's already there in the group. What's he going to say? No.
No. I texted Steve and I said, hey, I got a friend who's looking at buying a Sanford Rose. Do you mind answering some questions? I know you used to own one. He's like, yeah, no problem. Hook me up. No problem.
Okay.
Text Steve, Tim, boom, done.
I want everybody to see these guys are smart, okay? But
No, you know what it is? It's not that we're smart. It's just we're not afraid to just ask the question. Everyone is so afraid of the answer.
Yeah. Give me a phone number
we're
right
not
now
that
and
smart,
something to ask
honestly.
and I'll call them. I don't care.
Tom and I are not that smart, quite frankly.
Yeah, I'm dumb as a fucking box of rocks, man.
No, we just ask the questions that people are afraid to ask. Like, oh no, someone's going to get offended. Oh, boo-hoo, what the hell are they going to do? Hang up on you? They're going to say no, they're not going to answer you? Dude, the fucking clients do that anyway. Who cares? I mean, it's just, that's recruiting. This is sales. If you don't ask, you don't get. And most people, if they know someone, they're flattered to help. You know?
Those people want to help. Most of
They do.
us, everyone is willing to, as long as it's not inconvenient. You're not asking them to come down and change a tire, right? Most of us are more than willing to take on a 5 or 10 minute. I'm a fucking idiot. Look at me. I do all this stupid shit. Don't get paid for it because I have to help people.
Yeah, I got to tell you,
I'm on this show.
I spent more time. I got to tell you, I was saying this to somebody yesterday. I spent more time probably this month working on free things than working on paid things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually kind of dumb how much time I've done.
It's so stupid. I look at myself and I go, what the fuck were you doing for 2 hours at 4 o'clock on a Wednesday when you should have been working?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's
This may end up making me money, but I shouldn't be doing it during prime work time.
yeah. I mean, that's it. I mean, you do it because you like it. Like my Wednesday, Thursday morning class, same thing. It's like, we're not making a ton of money on it, but it's fun to do. It helps,
Okay, you guys I liked the way I really enjoyed your little speeches, but that was the exact opposite of what I was saying. These guys are smart, okay, but if I don't lay it out for them exactly to give a decent answer, they don't know how. Okay, I just make a group. He says, I just make a group call and say, that's not what he did at all. He made a private contact with his friend.
Well, these people won't listen.
Him, and then
I can lay it out. They're not going to listen. If they have to, if you've been in this business for more than a week and you have to ask questions like that, come on.
Yeah.
No. If I was listening to you guys the first time, in fact, I was listening and I was completely misled. Okay.
What were you misled by?
The guy that I read, he says, I'm going to write you an email to send out to that other guy for me. Okay. And
That's
so,
dumb.
yeah, these guys said, sure, I do this all the time. No, they don't. They
Yeah,
never
we do.
write out
Oh my
emails.
God. Are
Okay.
you okay? I think you're on drugs today.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Okay. Okay.
I think you are just missing the boat on all this. You are.
Okay. I've got a good question. I think this is right. No, I'm wrong about everything, but for me, this is right up your alley. Okay. Okay. A new client is asking for 90-day payment terms. That's a hard no for me.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
It makes me nervous that they even asked for it. Okay. I've worked with major enterprise companies and startups, and no one has even ever asked for that. What do you guys say? I don't think 90 days is that ridiculous.
For payment, that's insane.
For payment?
Yeah, that's not a warranty. That's insane. That's just like someone said in those comments. They just don't want to. They don't want to pay you if the guy fails. If the guy doesn't last the work out.
Yeah.
I mean, never do 90. Yeah. I mean, honestly, these companies are going to, once they even ask that question, they're going to pay you in 90 days, no matter what the contract says. So it's almost like you got to decide, is it worth it or not? But for the most part, yeah, I would never do 90-day contracts. That's
I don't
crazy.
even understand that. Like, you want a 90-day warranty? We could talk about that. But
Yeah.
not. I get paid 15 days, no later than 15 days after he
Yep.
starts. End of
Yeah.
story. We're not going to know. There's no extended payment plans. I don't give refunds. We don't have a credit terms, right? It's not 90 days, same as cash, all that bullshit. No, this is the way we work.
Yeah. It's just like any other service, you know. It's just, you use the service, you didn't use the service. You know, it's your choice. You have skin in the game as well as the hiring manager. To blame someone else for everything, it's just dumb.
Okay,
You
so
know?
you said if they even ask, you know they're going to try to cheat that way, right?
Yeah.
That is a giant red flag.
Yeah.
That you have to wait 90 days to pay me. What is going on in your company financially? Is my guy going to get paid? He's going to get his paycheck?
Yeah.
Tell me why. That's the next way. Why do you want to wait 90 days? Tell me why.
Like, I mean, exactly. It's like, what?
Just because?
Yeah. I mean, like, what is the situation that they have to wait 90 days to pay you? There's nothing about that makes sense.
And if
You
they
know?
get insulted, you don't care. I'm happy to walk away from a company.
Yeah.
that,
I mean, listen, unfortunately, as I've said 1,000 times, you can't really make a lot of money till you walk away from these opportunities like that.
You know what?
Yeah, because you're going to end up working on this, doing all this work, get a placement. You're all excited. 25 grand's coming in, and the guy lasts 81 days. And guess what? You ain't getting fucking paid.
Yep. Exactly. They go, oh, we'll just pay you when you replace it. Yeah.
Well, you know what? If you're a good recruiter, it's not going to be too often that someone only lasts 81
the
days.
principle of it, though. It's
It's the principle. Yeah.
It's all about the principle.
Why?
Yeah.
Again, why? Tell me why. Give me a good reason why you have to wait 90 days. Then we can have a discussion. Why?
Yeah. I mean, it's that simple. You know?
Okay, Rich, I'm gonna start wrestling with you again. Okay, wrestling.
ahead.
Okay. Here's the thing. Rich talks like that all the time, and I believed him. Okay, but he doesn't walk away from clients. He gives them a lot of rope. Okay, before he ever walks away. He's got a lot of crazy clients. Okay.
But we
That's
give
the
them rope,
startup
but
world.
there's some things they don't get rope on. 90-day payment, they don't get rope on.
Exactly. And then you got to remember, dealing with startups is not like dealing with these established companies that have this long tenure or all their shit together. So you deal with a lot of insanity. The stupidity that
It's
see.
an investment, especially in a startup. Imagine where Rich could be in 6 years if he was the guy that put up with all that bullshit, got him 5 sales reps and a sales manager, and all those sales reps are
That's the
sales
thing.
managers.
I've had companies where I've placed 20, 30, 40, I placed over 60 people with one manager. Was the company insane at the beginning? Did I want to walk away from it a bunch of times because they were difficult? I did, but I didn't because I liked the people. I saw something special in it. And ultimately, it made me a ridiculous amount of money. But you got to be smart. You don't just walk away because they did one silly thing wrong, or they pissed you off with one thing. Like I have a client I just dropped because I've done 5 searches for them. We placed 5 different sets of searches. We placed 3 people one time, placed an SC another time, and then the last 3 searches I just did with them, they got to the finish line, and then they couldn't pull the trigger. They decided not to hire, or all such a bullshit excuses, and then they were mad at me for something else. And I was like, you know what? This is a great time to part ways. I'm like,
you said that to yourself, or you said it to them?
No, what I said to them was your funeral. That's what I said to them.
You can't always do it. I mean, sometimes you have to walk away.
Well, there you go. I mean, listen, if you get to the finish line multiple times with a client and they choose not to hire anyone or keep putting it on pause, they didn't want to pay an engagement fee any longer. So they were going to pay me a 30% fee, whether they realized it or not. I told them they were, but I don't think they believed me. I mean, it cost me a $52,000 fee. I had the number 1 and 2 guy. And suddenly this guy got pissed off because he said I was pushing him. And I'm like, how am I pushing you? I'm like, literally, this was about your, certain things in this guy's own life that he needed fixed. He needed this person on more than I needed the fee, put it that way.
So how did you tell them? Okay, welcome, Stephen O'Donnell. You came 3 minutes before the show ends. How did you tell them? Did you say, Rich? Did you actually say this is your funeral?
That he wrote back saying he didn't like to be pushed until, and he's not going to. Forget exactly. His email to me was, this is funny. I just had to help this guy's like wife with stuff too, and he wrote me an email back basically saying, listen, you're off base, and I'm going to hire when I'm ready to hire. And I'm like, I wrote back, it's your funeral.
Really? So you placed 5 people with them, and now your relationship is on the rocks, and
It's done. In my opinion, it's done.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's more to the story. But I mean, I had placed a lot of folks with them. Every time there was an issue about something in terms of getting paid or about this, they had no appreciation for the efforts that I put in. I mean, I even gave them an intern for free.
Okay. So a lot of context here.
There's a lot more to it. Every deal is big.
O'Donnell, the final say on this one. The recruiter that has a new prospect, and the new client says, I want to pay in 90 days. What do you say, Stephen O'Donnell from Scotland?
I say my terms trump your terms in a competition of who. If you want to pay in 90 days, then the price goes up.
Hey, yeah, you can do that. That's not a bad idea.
You can't pay more than 25%.
Yeah.
And
no one knows. You're going to
No.
say yes or no.
Rules of supply and demand. How much do you need me? If you don't really need me, and you've got other people that will do it in those terms without haggling on the percentage, then fine, go with that. But usually if they're going to take a long time to pay, then you either don't move at all on your rates, or the price can go up. Like the stock market, go up as well as down.
Okay.
Yeah, my question, and Stephen, you came late, is why? I want to know why. I need a reason. Tell me why you need to wait 90 days. No one's answered that question yet. Why?
Yeah, right.
Sometimes I have a client, and they give all sorts of reasons as to why they can't go forward, and all of those reasons are just a front for, well, it's the money. But often they have the money, they just don't have it now. The next quarter they'll have the money, or the quarter after that, they can maybe promise me an exclusive contract or give me something. But I need something. If they're gonna ask me to change my terms, then we need to trade. We need to tit for tat.
Rich doesn't like promises for the future, and I respect that.
You're right, but
I think the 90-day, when someone wants to start, that's what I said before, when someone wants 90 days, it generally means they're wanting to see if this guy makes it through the warranty period. I mean, you're not wrong. A lot of times companies don't have budget until next quarter or whatever, but then tell me that. And
what I could do, if a company says, I can't pay you for 90 days, well, I need something now. Give me something on account. Pay me a third of the fee now, and we can hold off on the rest. And also, because you're holding off on the rest, that means that the guarantee, the initial period, that's void. You can't get anything back. The money is due regardless of whether the person stays beyond 3 months.
And that's what you run into. Like so many, I've seen on the groups people say, oh well, the guy lasted 4 weeks. We still haven't been paid. We're going to sue them to get paid. No, you're not. You're going to try, but you're not going to get paid. Right? That's why you get paid up front. That's why you get paid.
Rich would get paid. The courts pay for you, Rich, right? Don't they? I wouldn't like to go to court, but Rich does.
I have on occasion sat in the reception of companies that are not paying, and telling everyone who goes in and out, are you doing business with this company because they don't pay, and eventually being given a check. So if they're holding my money, then I'm not gonna miss and hit the ball.
Mm-mm.
I'm going to do the ads for everybody now. Rich Rosen, you can see everyone how fantastic he is, okay? And he teaches a class tomorrow morning on Thursday at 8:45 Eastern time. He gets you together with a little group of recruiters and talks about all your problems and tells you how he would handle them. And he's open to, you can see here, he's open to all kinds of challenges. If he doesn't give you a straight answer right off, you can say, but Rich, and he'll let you, okay? He'll elaborate, okay? He doesn't say, no, I told you already, shut up. No, you won't get that from Rich. And he got a testimonial this morning. He posted about his class, and someone said, it was fantastic, okay? I love it. I don't know if you saw that, Rich. Okay.
I did not. I love it. Thank you.
But somebody said so. If you want to get in touch with him about that, Rich at cornerstonesearch.com or go to mooreessentials.com. Okay. Tommy Pistachio Elascio has 2 shows. Okay. That's why he's not working hard. He's sketching now. I'm wasting my time. If you want to find out a question for free, okay, call him up on Tuesdays. It was
Tuesdays, 5 p.m.
5 p.m. and go to the recruiterroundtable.com. We'll give you the link, okay? And he'll have a personal conversation with you about your problem. Or you can go to his Friday, 12:30 p.m. show. Again, the recruiterroundtable.com. That's a group, and they talk about tech. He's got these tech guys coming in to do
Last
demos.
week we had Neil Leibovitz from Boss Back Office Staffing to talk about temp and contract staffing. We've had demos. Yeah, it's a great group of people, and it's a lot of fun.
Okay. And Mr. O'Donnell always has something going as well. What do you want to plug? Anything?
I've literally come off a show, a webcast I had with Vonk. Vonk are a job advertising a distribution platform based in Rotterdam in Holland, and they're doing great things. So I have webcasts regularly on Crowdcast, but you'll see all the details of the webcasts on tatech.org. So TA Tech, we run events for technology companies and recruitment. Our next one is in Oceanside, just north of San Diego, in June. And it's all CEOs and founders and C-suite execs from job boards and recruitment companies.
Okay.
Our biggest star that's coming along in June is Jeff. I forget his surname now. The guy who founded Monster.
Jeff Biggstar.
Yes. So he's going to be our keynote speaker, and a couple of others as well on the 4th to the 6th of June.
Okay.
And hey, Stephen, don't you do like some type of recruiter awards in Europe?
The Norris.
Yes, I run the
Yes.
National Online Recruitment Awards.
So Donna Terrell, I think, reached out to you. We're going to start the North American Recruiter Awards 7th annual one next week.
Explain how it works. Yeah, but
Thomas won every year.
Donna was exceptionally kind and picked me up from the airport.
That's what she said. Yeah, I talked to her about. Yeah, I said you guys, and she took you to the Columbia.
Yep, and we went to.
Hey, I got to run, guys.
Okay,
Okay.
Rich.
Hi, Rich. Good to see you.
I wanted to do an ad for Dave. David's looking for a job, as far as I know. David M. Marr. He's a super sourcer and all-round recruiter. Dave, if people want to get in touch with you, how should they do that?
Through LinkedIn, or my email is dmmarr@gmail.com.
Okay.
But
he's
I am
got
working.
this-
I'm
What?
working on contract right now at Indeed, so I'm looking for full-time work, full-time sourcing positions.
Cool.
Okay, and Ernie will swear by his genius, David's genius, not Ernie's own genius. Okay, now, thanks. If you want to ask Stephen O'Donnell a question, Pistachio, go ahead.
No,
I'll
that
let
was
you.
all. I was just wondering if he was. I couldn't remember. My brain, I'm stupid. That
Okay.
he did the Nortec. So yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah, Donna was very happy to meet you. She said it was a lot of fun, Steve. Okay, thanks, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Adios.
Nice meeting you, Steve. Bye.